Hello and welcome to my next Bitcoin update. So we had a pretty steep drop yesterday of about 7%. The entire market was really struggling. I saw gold was even tanking for about 10% on the day. Silver was breaking down about 20% on the day. So it was a pretty disastrous day for the markets and crypto yesterday. And of course, Bitcoin wasn't unaffected by that. And I just want to show you my ideas and want to lead you through the charts and show you what I'm thinking right now. Because as I said in the previous messages and in the previous Twitter and in the previous videos, Bitcoin is not looking too strong right now. And it's not that I'm bullish or bearish or anything. In general, I'm always bullish. In general, I'm always thinking that there will be better days, no matter how the actual day looks like. But right now, it just doesn't look too strong. Do I think that we will go higher at one point? Yes, I really do that. And I really do believe that. But right now may not be the time. And this is not about my gut feeling. This is just about working with the charts. And I want to keep this as simple as possible. So let's look at the weekly first. So we have our trend line here. I'm not really trading off trend lines. I've been saying this several times, but I like them for confluence. I like them for quick visualization. And what we see here is that we definitely broke below this trend. Does this mean that we're bearish right now? No, it doesn't. But right now, it doesn't look too strong. The same, we saw how on the weekly, we broke down, retested that trend line. We danced directly at the trend line and on the trend line for a couple of weeks. Then we tested into my momentum, my generally trend indicator. We have been rejected, showing a very strong SFP, and now we broke down. So this doesn't look really strong. Where would be my weekly levels? The weekly levels are pretty simple. So first of all, we see the level around the 74, 75. This is maybe a zone somewhere around here. So this is the first line in the sand we have to look at, just to see what's happening. So as a major support area, this is still here. And even seeing something like that, having a reclaim of that level, seeing some sort of acceptance and going higher would still be very bullish, because the structure on the weekly is still intact, even though many people point to the contrary. But no, the structure on the weekly is still intact. We still work with higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. So we still didn't put in a lower low. So technically, we're still in an uptrend. So this is nothing that worries me too much. However, we might come down further. So as I said, first of all, on the weekly, it's very likely that we see something like this. We might even retest this, get a bearish retest, see something like this, grabbing liquidity here, maybe even pulling back into that zone, coming back up. So this is all on the table. And this would mean a pullback towards the 66, 65K level. And still, it wouldn't be too bearish, depending on where we have the candle closes. If we get deep candle closes in that area, yes, this is definitely a point where we turn bearish, especially below here. Candle closes below here and it's getting pretty ugly. But until we got that, we don't really need to worry. It doesn't look strong, but we're still in a solid move. However, on the daily, we can be a little bit more precise here. Just get rid of this. Okay, and again, I want to keep this very simple. We lost the trend here. We had been breaking above the important, more or less 93K level, more or less here. We had been breaking above this, putting in a higher high. Again, I'm working with market structure a lot. So higher low, higher low, higher high, higher high, higher low, higher high. Here, this looked very bullish. And I already said this in my last video, but now we broke below that due to the tariff discussions and everything around that. I don't want to get into the details here, but we broke below. So when we break down, we always look for reversal points. The first important point was around here. We see a deep liquidity pocket. We touched that, we came back above, broke back down. All right, where's the next level? And this is what I really want everyone to understand. There is no definite answer here. Everyone telling you like, yeah, I know exactly where the bottom is. No one knows. We really don't know. We can just have educated guesses, and right now we have very strong levels that might or might not act as support. This is why we don't only play levels, we always want to have some confirmation that the levels actually hold. Here we had the next level down here around 83.6, 83.7, depending on which chart you're looking at. We touched that, came back above, broke back down. So the next level, again, very obvious, is here, more or less 80K, a little bit above 80K 500, and we didn't really touch that yet. So there's still liquidity resting below that, not too much, but there's still something left. And until we don't touch that level, we don't really know. Do I think we could come back up from here? Yes, absolutely, it's possible. Sometimes Bitcoin is not really doing the obvious thing, and the obvious thing would be something like this, sweeping that, coming back up, ranging for a moment, and then breaking higher. Maybe we don't get that. But if we get that, this is definitely something where I will go long. And these are the ideas I want to show you right now, lead you through some long or short ideas. So where's a definite point for me to go long? Let's get rid of this, just to make it very, very clean. Okay, where would I want to go long? First of all, I want to have a clear signal here. If we see exactly what I want to see, meaning a break below that, meaning it's going to be a deviation, coming back up, seeing acceptance, a couple of candle closes above here. On the daily, depending on the volume, if we get some volume increase, the 4 hourly might be more than enough. And I will go long. This is my level. And as a strong line of the middle, I mean, we're looking at a range here. We could have easily, this is the higher part of the range. The lower part of the range might be here with some deviations, bam, and the mid-range, and the most important level in the middle is the 90K, a little bit above that, 90K, 200, 300, that's the good level here. So this is our range right now, and it's very simple. Will we come back above? I'll go long, very simple. Again here, if we get a nice sweep of that liquidity wick, and we get acceptance above that, then I will go long. I definitely look for long back here. On the 4 hourly, this is even a little bit easier to see. There we go. If we can put in a daily close above the 90K level, this is definitely the point where I'm switching back mid-term bullish again. Right now we're in that lower part of the range, and yes, I'm looking for a good entry, and as I said, if we should clean the 80K and if we should get a nice reaction off of it, I will go long there. Unless this doesn't happen, I'm looking for the 90K level. 90K level, a little bit above, seeing the same level of acceptance above that, I'm switching more or less bullish. This is just what I'm seeing in the charts. And everything below that, I'm rather bearish because we're at the low part of the range, and I don't want to be too bullish unless we get a clear signal. So let's make this even cleaner. Get rid of the bands. Bam. There we go. So to see this, sometimes a little bit of cleaning up here to do, and cleaning up this one. There we go. So if we should get our clear signal here, we can go long, and we will play this into the next liquidity pocket, which will be around 86, 87K. This is the area I'm looking for. So going from down here, going long, playing this towards the highs into that zone, this will be the area where I'm looking for the next short. And again, I'm not being bearish, I'm just looking for my entry triggers. If I'm getting a sweep, if I'm getting some nice reaction here, and if I'm seeing how we close below my level and I get a retest, then I have all the confirmation I need and I'm going short. This is just my strategy, this is just the style I'm trading. If we come back above that, if we come back above the 90K, get some acceptance, then I will definitely see if I can get along here, trading this into the 90K level. Again, this is a range that has been holding for such a long time. So again, I want to see a clean break above. I want to see the acceptance. Here I was pretty sure. Volume was coming in, the open interest was increasing, we were having this acceptance. All that was missing was a clean retest and a break higher. We didn't get that, we broke below. Okay, that happens. But this is something I'm looking for here as well. Going higher and trading this into the higher ranges. Until then, I don't really want to go too deeply into the topics of where will we be next. Yeah, next levels will be 100K. Obviously, this is the most important psychological level. We have higher liquidity pockets above that at 106K, 115, 16K, and so on. But that doesn't matter right now. For now, we're in this range. And for now, I want to have just a very clean approach into that choppy or towards that choppy environment. And as long as we don't get a clean break, I don't really want to bother myself with too many levels around that. So just to sum this up, am I really bearish right now? No, I'm not. I still think we will go higher. But right now, to me, I would want to see the 80K level to at least being swept for another long. If we break below that and if we get a bearish retest, 74K and the levels I told you before on the weekly, since the weekly is so important for us, which will be below 74K, meaning 76, 75, 66, 65, 64. This will be the area we might wick into and come back up. If we don't get a break below the 80K level, and if we don't get the bearish retest, then I will now look for us to trade into the 87K area. We'll look for a short. If we break this, I will look for the 90K area and look for a long. This is my plan for now. And we just have to wait what happens. So whatever you do out there, don't be too nervous. Don't get caught in all this noise on Twitter. And it's just too much. It's really just too much. So be clear that we are in a range. And be very, very clear about the fact that as long as we're in the range, no one really knows. I will post updates about my trades whenever we get there. And if you want to have the details, just join us at Signal Labs. The link is below the video. I will post all my setups there. I will post ideas there, which next setups to take. I will guide you guys through the setups. However, usually I'm posting my charts there and I'm posting my setups there, and you can always have exact track of our trades there. So I hope you get some more value out of this. Don't be nervous, don't get caught in the chop, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.